This video is titled Reflecting on Ancient Greek Wisdom. Are you familiar with the tale of Echo and Narcissus? Both have their own unique backstories, yet their paths ultimately converge in a most fatal interchange. It starts with the story of Echo, an Oread nymph of Mount Kithaeron, in a region of Greece called Boeotia. She was beautiful, as most nymphs were. Yet despite such outward beauty, Echo was known for being an incessant chatterbox and gossip. One day, Zeus, the king of the gods, was playing with one of the forest nymphs, and his wife, Hera, who was known for being the goddess of marriage, women and family, came looking for him. Echo was tasked with the job of distracting Zeus's wife from her search. And so she stood in her way, chatting incessantly, so as to confound the goddess enough to hopefully send her on her way. But Hera, whose suspicions were well-founded, grew tiresome of such antics, and punished Echo with a curse befitting of her gossiping nature. She was thereafter only able to repeat whatever came out of anyone else's mouth, and thus she was no longer able to self-express. We shall now take a look at Narcissus. He was the beautiful son of both the river god Kiphisus and a water nymph named Liriope. His beauty was so mesmerising, it captured all who glanced upon his face, causing them to fall immediately in love with him. One day Narcissus was out hunting deer with his friends, and Echo from inside the forest became immediately captured by a beauty the likes of which she had never seen before. She became infatuated with him and quietly followed him around. The more she looked at him, the more she longed for him, and all her heart wished for was to call out to Narcissus. But due to Hera's curse, she was forever prevented from doing so. Now, upon becoming separated from his companions during the hunt, Narcissus heard rustling in the forest and called out, "Is anyone there?" At which point he was met with his same words back to him, "Is anyone there?" Startled, Narcissus answered the voice, "Come here," only to be told the same, "Come here." When Narcissus saw that nobody had emerged from the glade, he concluded that the owner of the voice must be running away from him, and called out again. Finally he shouted, "This way, we must come together." Taking this to be a reciprocation of her love, Echo concurred ecstatically, "We must come together." In her delight, Echo rushed to Narcissus, ready to throw her arms around her beloved. But Narcissus was appalled when he saw her, and spurning her, exclaimed, "Hands off! May I die before you enjoy my body." All Echo could whisper in reply was, "Enjoy my body." And having done so, she fled, scorned, humiliated, and shamed. Despite the harshness of his rejection, Echo's love for Narcissus only grew even further. Echo's fellow nymphs prayed to Nemesis to punish Narcissus with a love that was equally unreciprocated. Nemesis caused him to fall in love with his own reflection, in a pool of water where he wasted away and died, unable to take his eyes away from the beautiful youth he did not recognise as himself. Narcissus, looking one last time into the pool, uttered, "O marvellous boy, I loved you in vain, farewell." Echo too chorused, "Farewell." Eventually, Echo too began to waste away. Though she was immortal, her body faded and her bones turned to stone, until all that remained of Echo was the sound of her voice. A deeper look into both of these characters shows that they represent both sound and light. Echo represents reflected sound, and Narcissus represents reflected light. In either case, They suffered due to their reflections, and were both in love with what was unattainable. For the spiritual or esoteric wealth hidden within this story, one must ask a couple of questions. Firstly, Echo fell in love with the visual aspect of Narcissus, but not his audial aspect. Why? And similarly, Narcissus only fell in love with his visual reflection, but not his audial one, when his own words were repeated back to him through Echo. Can you piece it all together? A clue may be found hidden within ancient Masonic texts, which when understood may yet unlock further insights. Samuel Pritchard's Masonry Dissected transcribed a Masonic ritual from the late 17th, early 18th century, and within it is revealed the secrets of the ancient thinkers. Question: what's the day for? Answer: to see in. Question: what's the night for? Answer: to hear in. What might all this mean, do you think? There appears to be a distinction drawn between light reflection and sound reflection. Light is overbearing and contains so much information it is impossible to decipher all at once. A quick look at the electromagnetic spectrum only proves the same. And the visual light band is minute in comparison with the entire spectrum. Sound, however, is much more concentrated and represents a particular message that has been filtered or even sifted from the massive information contained within light. Thus, despite his visual appearance being beautiful to behold, this was merely his superficial nature, whereas the words spoken out of his mouth reflected a deeper nature. A moral can be drawn here. If those words spoken from the mouth are not beautiful in their receipt, then it means the place from whence they originate is likewise unattractive. Therefore, if one allies their inner nature with the frequency of the heart, any verbal expression thereafter will be as beautiful in sound as Narcissus was in light. More insights into this elusive myth can be found in Chapter 8 of my book, High Meridian, available in all Amazon bookstores in paperback, hardback and Kindle format. Thank you.